you are watching Coffee Talk right at 7 p.m. Central Time. It is Wednesday, July the 9th, 2025, and this is Coffee Talk number 469. Welcome. Please leave a like and a supportive comment. Feel free to link your channel. And tonight, we're going to do an update on the border. And I have notes. I've been taking notes, and I got notes to talk about. Well, would be nice if you'd kick in. Trying to get it to start, and the bloody thing is not doing it. Oh, Lord. Well, this is a good time for an expletive. I feel like cutting loose because I hate these damn things. Golly jeez. Okay, here we go. Julie Ann West, how are you doing? Good to have you in the house. I had been trying to visit you and give you some watch time. I like your walkabout videos. When you're out and about along the shore and watching the people. One of the things I will mention that's in the news right now here in Texas, where I'm at. Hello, David Hunt. How are you doing? And Myra Elaine, buying space. How's it going? So there was a real bad flooding along the Guadalupe. It was over its banks 20 feet or more. And a lot of campers took a lot of lives. Very, very, very bad. A lot of children. The death toll rises to 119, with more than 173 missing. Was in the news. Absolutely horrible. Please leave a like to support the channel. It will be greatly appreciated. Pre-retirement days. How are you doing, Betty? Thank you, Mr. Hunt. KP Heathen, how's it going? So I got a box out to Dave Yoda's Blessed Life. You should get it Saturday. I'm putting another box together. Uncle Al, Die Bullfrog 79, Alisato. Yeah, a lot of Davids here. we're, we're blessed with Davids. And David does mean translated as beloved, beloved of God, David. So today I did menu number 3, MRE, menu number 3, chicken with vegetables. Put it together, edited it. Right now it's uploading. It's taking forever to upload. It's like 26 minutes. And I mean, I cut some stuff from it. I mean, I'm trying to, I don't know. I boiled water using a camp stove. So there's some segment in there where I show how you use the camp stove with canned heat to heat water. You know, and made coffee but I'm uploading that one right now, and then I've got to do the description, I've got to do some shout outs, and then at some point in time this week I'll be releasing that one. And that's menu number 3. And there are 24 menus. Case A is menus 1 through 12. Case B, menus 13 through 24, and these are all within date. They're current, you know, they haven't reached their inspection date yet. So I'm working my way through. Joseph Moore, how are you doing? Daughter's softball practice. I'm sure you're having fun being the parent. Yeah, I miss that kind of stuff. I used to take my daughter, Amanda, to cheerleader practice. And she had training, and she did summer camp, and she did all sorts of stuff for cheer. And I paid for her to, you know, and I'd go over there, and I'd be like the only father. There'd be like 20 mothers there, and I'd be the only father and be sitting up there in the stands watching my daughter doing the cheer stuff. And, you know, at Manning's, and they have all the, you know, professionally, that, you know, they do a good job training, teaching her how to do somersaulting and all sorts of, you know, extreme type, you know. Used to enjoy doing that. Yeah, Wells is beautiful. One of my ancestral homelands. I've been talking, not paying attention. Has there been an Uncle Al sighting? I worry about him and his health. I do worry about him and his health. Well, I hit 1,560, 57, 67, I don't even remember. I hit something. Where am I at? Ooh. Switch. 57. $1,957. Moving up on 1,960. Yesterday's live had 75 views, 28 likes. And currently, for the last 28-day period, I have 48.1K views for the last 28 days. 48.1K. Down a little bit. It goes up and down depending on, you know, what's going on, but it's down a little bit. It was in the 50s. I will remind you that we will be doing a 2,000 subscriber giveaway when we reach 2,000 subscribers. And sometimes in the next Echo Echo contacted me today. And Dave, how you doing? Anyway, Echo said, "Don't worry, Dave. You'll be at 2,000 subscribers before you know it." And I said, "Yeah, probably sometimes this coming school year." My channel's not growing that fast, and I used to be a lot bigger channel than hers, and I was staying about 200 ahead of Dave. Yoda, and now she's got me by probably about 600, and he's got me by about 12, 13,000. It's like it just blew up. But I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time. Hey, every day you wake up is a blessing. Remember that. Yeah, I am monetized. I don't ask people to send me money. I don't do like what they call super chats or whatever. I don't do memberships. I don't sell merchandise. You know, there may come a day when I do a cup. I may do a cup, something other. I might do a coffee talk cup or taco talk cup. But I don't, I don't. And if I do, it'll be something I'll probably just send to people. Just give it to them. And but I take my monetization from the views and the advertisement time. People let the ads run if they do, and that's how I get my meager money that's building up. It's building up to $100. It's not there yet. It's building up to $100. So anyway, Kayla Boo, how are you doing, Boo? That was my nickname for my daughter Gigi when she was little. I used to call her Boo, and she'd call me Kitty, which were a couple of animated characters from one of the Disney movies. Used to call her Boo. Little Lone Prepper, how's it going? Uncle Al made an appearance. How are you doing, Uncle Al? You are the 10th person to comment tonight. I've been writing down names, making my list, checking it twice, gonna find out who's naughty and nice. So again, I will mention, before we get into tonight's topic, that Texas flooding death toll along Guadalupe rises to 119. That was on a news clip I saw a few hours ago, with more than 173 people missing. 119 dead and 173 missing. That's from flooding along the Guadalupe. So tonight's comment, and this is the Texas edition. I'm focused on Texas because I am in Texas. Going to talk about construction of the border wall and the money that's being spent and the big beautiful bill and the money that's in the big beautiful bill for various immigration enforcement and such. So according to the U.S. Census Bureau, there were about 5.46 million immigrants in Texas, just Texas. And That's 7 in 40 people living in Texas in 2023. I'm quoting statistics from 2023. And I'm not sure that these are accurate. This is what they say. Who's actually here? I think it's significantly higher, but I'm just basically I'm using something that YouTube shouldn't get mad at me about because I'm quoting U.S. Census Bureau. That's 17.9% of the overall population in Texas. %17.9% in Texas. Now, they're building wall in Texas. They're constructing wall. In the state of Texas has been constructing wall in 7 different areas. And most recently, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, CBP, has awarded a $70,285,000 contract to build approximately 7 miles of new border wall in Hidalgo County, Texas. That's in the Rio Grande sector. I'll be working on a news, Coffee Talk News. It'll be a short one, but I will include some images. I'll include an image of the state of Texas showing the different, how it's divided up, the different areas and the sections, what they're called. I'll put a nice picture up of a section of the border wall to show you. They're basically the new wall that they've been putting up, that was approved by Trump in the previous administration, that Texas has been putting up and that the administration's been putting up, and then they were interrupted and now they're putting up again. Over 30 feet high. You can see through it. You can't get through it unless you cut it, but you can see through it. But it's over. They concreted in. They basically put forms in. It's over 30 feet in height. It's not something that, except very few people, would be able to manage to climb it. You really can't climb that. So that's what they've been working on. And the One Big Beautiful Bill Act that just passed. Enrique Trevino, you came in. Okay. Good to see you. Mom of 4 boys. Hello, Rachel. So the One Big Beautiful Bill Act allowed approximately $46.5 billion for border wall construction. This funding is intended for the construction, installation, or improvement of physical barriers, including access roads and related technologies like cameras and sensors, as well as about another $30 billion to hire more ICE personnel for transportation costs and to maintain ICE facilities, including increasing the number of beds. They're saying that they're going to be upping the number of detention beds to 116,000. Now, why would anybody want to detain 116,000 people and have them here detained? I would be deporting them as fast as I can get a hold of them. The Supreme Court has already said that the administration has the right to deport. These are not citizens. They don't have the same due process rights as citizens. And I'd be shipping their butts to wherever. And they can be transported to a third country. If their home country does not accept them, they can be transported someplace else where they'll be accepted. And yes, YouTube hates me for saying that. Creative redundancy, how's it going, CR? Melinda Elliott. Hello, Melinda Elliott. Have I missed anybody? I've been basically talking and not paying attention to who's here. Let me go back. Seven watching, 14 likes. Might have scared a few people off with what I've been saying, but it's the truth. I'm not lying about anything that I'm saying. I'm basically getting this off of legitimate sources. Now, Customs and Border Protection reports 1 mile of border wall costs $6.5 million. And I guess that's an average. However, when you start looking at, you start thinking about what they're spending, like they spent they just issued a contract for a little over $70 million for 7 miles. So that's $10 million a mile. But then that's also the right of way, buying the land. A lot of times that they don't own the land, so they have to pay for easement, concessions for the land, legal fees, and all the BS that goes along with it. So they're working, they're focusing on areas of high traffic. Now, we don't have high traffic right now. The border, there's very little illegal alien crossings right now because of the new administration, because of what they're doing. But what they're doing is they're focusing on areas where they had very high traffic and crossings. That's where they're focusing on construction right now. Areas where, if let's just say the worst happened and a new liberal came into power and they basically shut down and said, come on in, the way Biden did. They're trying to seal those areas where they'd have the highest traffic of them coming across. Like right out in the middle of the desert, 150 miles from nowhere, there might not be border wall, but you're not going to have people. There's nothing there, so you're not going to have people trying to cross there. Very few people would try to cross there. So you wouldn't have mass thousands and thousands of people right out in the middle of the desert in front of nothing, 110-degree heat, walking to try to cross the border. They're doing it in areas where they have access to, conveniences and support and water and such, roads. That's where they're trying to do their crossings. So they're focusing, Department of Homeland Security, they're focusing on completing gaps in existing structures and building new sections in areas with high illegal crossings, when they've had high illegal crossings. That's what they're focusing on. That is what they are trying to focus on. $15 likes, 7 in the house. So, President Trump, when he entered office, issued an executive order. Executive orders can be overridden by replacement presidents. So let's say, you know, President Trump was in office for 4 years. Biden came in. The first day that Biden was there, they already had lined up canceling a lot of Trump's executive orders, issued a lot of new executive orders, doing just the opposite of what Trump did to basically open up the border and just let people come through. And estimates vary as to how many people came through, but they were saying like 3 million people a year that they know of, like 12 million people. There have been estimates of 20 million people, but they're saying at least 12 million people over 4 years. And a lot of them were criminal types, released from prisons in Venezuela and Colombia and, places where they basically let them out of jail with the understanding that they would come here, you know. So in the first 5 months of the Trump administration, they've already arrested and they've already taken off the streets over 100,000 criminal illegals. They've been focusing on criminal illegals. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not getting those who their crime is basically they came into the country illegally, but they're talking about the ones, the high priority ones are that they're criminals and that they've already, and that they may have been in prison, or they may have gotten out. They have, they've got stuff pending against them, or they've already been ordered out of the country and they haven't left, or they were ordered out of the country, they left and they came back. Those are the ones they've been focusing on, but they have been getting others, to be honest. So Trump issued an executive order designating criminal cartels and transnational criminal organizations as foreign terrorist organizations. That would allow us to deploy the military. That would allow us to go in, like in Mexico. If they choose to, they could go in and start trying to root them out. The Defense Department has deployed thousands of active duty troops to support the Border Patrol in securing the border. They have been deploying limited numbers of Marines. They have Marines operating in California and Los Angeles. They have been deploying Marines to various areas. And the Marines are directly under the control of the President. The President doesn't have to go to Congress to deploy Marines. The National Guard. Remember, Trump nationalized the Guard when they're having all the riots and everything out in California, Los Angeles, and certain areas out there. And they're rioting against immigration and deportations, and they're trying to prevent them from deporting people. And the No Kings movement, they had the No Kings protests, the No Kings movement, and they've been having to deploy about that. So they've been using the Guard and to a limited extent the Marines to support, because of all the trouble they're having. They have been arresting people for assaulting federal operators. There's a lot. The mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, has been raising unholy hell, over what's going on. She's not the Governor Newsom. He has aspirations of running for president in 2080. They're not doing anything to stop what's going on. You've got looters, anarchists out there breaking into stores, looting, just going through and stealing everything. Nobody, they're not being stopped. As a matter of fact, you've got stuff going on down in Mexico City. You had mass protests and uh, rampant looting, breaking into businesses owned by foreign nationals, Americans. There's a lot of expatriates down there, and they're basically trying to run them out. They're threatening them. They're stalking them. Um, they're going into places where they're eating in restaurants, and they're going into businesses and small businesses, and they're going in there and they're destroying. They're doing all sorts of stuff, and and law enforcement down there is not doing anything to stop it. Idaho Garden Girl, hello, young lady. Thank you for coming. Stephanie, I need you to email me your new address. After Uncle Al gets his box, you're going to be getting a follow up from me. And I know you moved, and I know you told me where you moved to, but I don't think I wrote it down. I mean, I've got your phone number and I got your email and everything, but I don't have your new mailing address. So if you would please email me your new mailing address, because after Uncle Al's box, you will be the next one to receive a box. It'll be a follow up. And I know I've sent you something in the past, but it's been over a year. So I mean, I wanted to send you, because of how supportive you are. I wanted to send you something. And of course, when you send me information, I do not share it. Take care. 7 watching, 17 likes, 18 likes. Um, People are sneaking by on me. I'm trying to talk, and I keep missing people coming in. I apologize. Looking back, I really need a wing person. I need a consistent wing person. And yes, I do need to upgrade my technology. I'm thinking about getting a brand new MacBook Pro. Walter Davis, how are you doing, sir? I mean the full-size MacBook Pro. That's what I'm considering doing, and it probably cost me about $3,000. I'm also thinking about getting YouTube, what is it called? Prime or Supreme, where no commercials. They say you get benefits from that. Thinking about that one. 8 watching and 19 likes. We are 34 minutes in. Premium, okay, premium, yes. If I get it for myself, it's like $8. If I get it for the family, it's like $24. My daughter's talking about it, so I know she wants it, because I cover her internet box, T-Mobile internet box, and her phone service, her internet service on her phone. We have T-Mobile. I pay for that, so they benefit from. They benefit from that, and she would benefit from, like, I pay for Hulu, and I was paying for Netflix, but nobody really watches it, so I just let it go because they keep going up on it. Hulu is like $10. Netflix went up to it was like $28. Used to be like 13 or 14. I mean, this got outrageous. But see, one of the things, and I'll tell you this, one of the reasons why things are so expensive is that they support a lot of liberal crap. Like the Clintons, the Obamas, a lot of, they paid them large sums of money. Harry and Meghan Markle, different, the elites, they give them money to do projects that aren't worth a crap, but it's just a way to give them money, and then we're paying for that. John Holmes, how you doing, John? John C. Holmes. Does everybody know who John Holmes in real life was? Back in the 70s. Big porn star, John Holmes. Used to be, I think they used to call him, excuse my language, but he used to go by Johnny Wad. And then it was John Holmes. And then he died of AIDS. He is one of the first HIVs. He had unprotected sex, bisexual or whatever, and he is part of all that. So I plan on doing a Coffee Talk News. I plan on doing a Coffee Talk News on the border construction with more information. But that's where I'm at right now. I'm just taking notes, writing stuff down, still researching. I'll talk a little bit more about it, as we come along. And Coffee Talk, dude, funny. No, I just finished I drank my coffee. I finished my coffee. And I am loading up. It was still loading when I started this live stream. About a 26-minute MRE menu number 3, chicken and vegetables, a review. I'm loading it up. It's all edited. I just need to do the description in it and do some shout outs. I'll shout out some channels, link some channels. And well, I had mentioned earlier the flooding. The death toll had risen to 119 confirmed, with more than 173 still missing. I mean, I figure it'll be 300 or more when all is said and done. They're still looking for bodies. The Guadalupe, and they do a lot of tubing and a lot of camping along the Guadalupe, overflowed its banks by over 20 feet. My question is, where are all the reports and all the safety reports and all the news and notifying people, of safety and everything? My daughter would go tubing ever so often. A few years back, she'd go to wherever with her friends, And like here, we have the river here and the park and downtown, and it's on the edge of our town. And it's risen. It's above the banks, but it's a floodplain, so there's no houses where it would happen. If it rose 10 feet or so here, and it'll rise 5 or 6 feet periodically, and it'll be all over the park, covered. But as far as housing and such, it's up on higher ground, so you don't have to worry about that. Yes, it was raining today here. The yard work. Luckily, I got out and I sprayed. I did a lot of spraying and killed a lot of weeds along. I sprayed along concrete and stuff where I have to weed eat. Hopefully, I don't have to weed eat. With that now, you've got like a 6-inch wide strip of dead all around culverts and concrete and a couple of telephone poles and or electric poles. Um, got a lot of work done along there, but my backyard looks like a. I started a little bit in the backyard, and it's like, woo, forest. Gonna have to, and and I usually cut in the backyard. I usually cut in around everything, weed eat around everything, and then I use the riding mower for the, and I don't really care how the backyard looks. The front yard looks nice when I bag. It's more work, takes longer, but I mean I bag, and when I bag, it's like lots of bags or lots of trash cans. I mean I'll have 7 or 8 trash cans out and a couple of bags from the yard work that I do. I feel sorry for those. I feel sorry for them. And yes, probably going to be raining tomorrow here. I'm hoping 19 likes, 10 in the house right now. I'm hoping that looking to see who's here. A lot of comments. Anybody here that I haven't said hello to? Yeah, overnight is down to 70s. Today it was in the 80s. It's all overcast, dark. You hear the dogs start barking. They hear like rumbling in the distance, and they start barking. I've got material I need to load up. I've got to load up some shorts. I've got it's like I've got a whole list of people that I need to give watch time to, and I'm told reach out to these channels, and they reach out to me, and I go back to them, and I basically will watch a couple of videos and sub them and tell them, I do the timestamp, let them know what like number I am and new friend and such, and so I'm growing slowly growing. Yeah. Lots of highs, record highs. I was watching, and I watched some. I watched some historical stuff, and I watched stuff on the. Like, okay, we're still in an ice age, right? I mean, we still have ice covering a lot of ocean and a lot of land mass. Not like it was 15,000 years ago, but we are still technically in an ice age, because when we're not in an ice age, there really isn't any ice on the poles. But there's ice on both the poles. So we are technically still in an ice age. Yeah, they have been arresting, and they're showing pictures of them. I think a lot of these people are Antifa. And most of them are white. A lot of them look like nuts. They're 30s, 40s, 50 years old. Some of them are professionals. They're very well educated. They're nuts. And then some of them, I'm sure, are in the employ of some very rich billionaires that basically are just trying to cause chaos. They show up, they're organized. They basically deploy them. They show up and they bring signs, banners, weapons, chunks of concrete. They bring face masks and gloves and they bring armor. Some of them have body armor on, or they're kitted up, and knee pads, elbow pads, and such. Where they're combat boots. They're wearing black, and they're basically there to cause trouble and to fight. And then they have pepper spray and bear spray and just all sorts of crap. And they do some damage, and then they encourage other people to do damage. The herd, the sheeple. 20 likes. Thank you. 20 likes. I mean, I was looking at topics. I mean, I've got notes. I'm running low on them, but I've got notes from other times that I didn't write them before I was writing in the book. I just would save notes from topics that Uncle Al and I had discussed that you know, when he does not contact, he's busy. He's got lots of stuff going on. He's got more stuff going on than I do. And when he does not, you know, because it takes him a while to send me the stuff. And when he doesn't do it, I basically pull up some notes from previous or what I'm researching right now. Like, I'd like to do a coffee talk news on the situation with the border construction and what's going on related to that. I also want to do a coffee talk news on the rulings that came out from the Supreme Court, the last handful of rulings that came out from the Supreme Court. There's some good stuff there. You know, very, very good stuff for us. Yeah. You know, Walter, he's busy. You know, a lot of times you see him with his farm implements. You see him, what he does. He does foster care where he's got some foster kids, you know, that he takes care of. I mean, he's got a full plate. You know, Walter has a full plate. And he produces content, and a lot of times I don't have time to go and you know, I mean, I periodically go and visit him, and I periodically will watch some of his stuff, and I will leave comments and, you know, likes and such. But I just can't. I don't have the time to consistently do it. The trees are already changing. Mm. Well, I see where my friend Dave is loading up. He's loading up content right now, shorts. He says he does like 20 a day. Uncle Al does about 10. Like, I think I did like one or two today. You know, do one or two. Some days I do three or four. I mean, I'll drop a couple of more tonight before I go to bed. But I mean, I'm not putting out near the content that they are. What do you think about Fetterman, Walter, your senator? He's a big surprise to me. Big surprise. He seems to be the only sane one in the Democratic Party right now. And they're hating on him because he actually comes out. This is like Bill Maher. Bill Maher Bill Maher has been spanking a bunch of those nuts. And he's a big liberal Democrat, but he's basically calling them out. He's calling them on their stupidity. And Fetterman's doing the same thing. You know, it's just like, I love him. If I had to vote for a Democrat for president, it'd be Fetterman. From what the stuff from the way he presents himself, what he said. Now he dresses the way I do when I'm off a lot of times. A lot of times I'm wearing shorts, you know, and I might be wearing a hoodie, or you know, I'm wearing, you know, I mean, I'm not dressed. This is me in my casual. Um, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Um, but I mean, like, if I go to the store, I might put on I might put on some slicks. But like, here I am, shorts, t-shirts, got a pocket. You know, sometimes I'm wearing my underwear, and I'm wearing two pair of shorts. You know, just double pair of shorts, and you know, it's like. But like, if I'm out doing yard work, I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt with gloves. I'm wearing mosquito netting. I'm wearing long pants. I'll be wearing mosquito netting. That's how bad it is. They have not been, the city has not been spraying. They have not been spraying. I'm very unhappy about that. 50 minutes into the live stream. So some of the things I will tell you, and I do, I do talk about this, and I know Uncle Al, who mentors me to a certain extent, and we're similar in age, and he's got a couple of years on me, but we're both boomers, and we both, grew up at a time. Mike Crusher Reviews, how you doing, Mike? Mike, I've got, I'm in the process of loading up menu number 3, chicken and vegetables. I did it today. I've got to put some comments on it, and I'll be releasing it. You have nothing to fear. I mean, your reviews are a lot better than mine anyway. But today, doing my review, Mike, I pulled out one of my camp stoves that I send people, and you should have gotten the same ones. Pulled out a camp stove, and I used the camp stove in here, burning safe heat. And I used just some regular MRE matches from a ration. In this one, I'm at first strike, every one of them. I still got 3 or 4 more. And I did menu number 3 today. It's about 26 minutes, a little bit long, but enjoyable. Yeah, I wore the gloves when I did the FRH, because those FRHs that are in date, the ones that haven't expired from their inspection dates, those things work. They have been working, and I'll be releasing it the next day or so. I just need to put my description stuff in it and do some shout outs, and then I'll release it, and that's number 3. And I want to work my way through case 1, and then I'll shift into case 2. That they're selling them right now for a good price. You can get a case A and a case B together for under $100. And I just got through buying some more cases while they got them for the price that they got them. And their inspection dates 25, 26. So they're within their inspection dates. And no, I'm enjoying it. And I've also got some more Moors coming in. I've ordered some more Moors, modular operational ration enhancements, some sets of Moors, the pack 1, 2, and 3s. But no, I'm enjoying myself, and and I'm trying to make sure I get the angles and everything, and it's not up to the quality of what some of the people do, but I think it's enjoyable, and I enjoy doing it, and I think people get some benefit from it. So I'm getting plenty of views on them. What I need to do is some of my old friends that I'm subscribed to that I haven't been seeing because I haven't really been focusing on doing ration reviews, I need to basically link 15 or 20 ration channels that I would follow. I need to link those in the description, and hopefully they'll pick up on them. Take care, Julie. Julie Ann West over in the UK. And she has been going by Desi Jotty. And it's Julie Ann West. And she puts out very good content. She changed channels, and she was looking at some stuff yesterday. She has about 150 subs right now. So if you are not subbed to her, I would ask that you go over and sub her. Hey, Stephanie, I don't know if you heard me. You were here you were here, and then I think you stepped out for a few minutes to do something. But please please email me your updated mailing address. I have your phone number, I have your email address, but if you would, uh, excuse me just a second. City, Victoria City something. Excuse me a second. Hello? The city of Victoria issued a boil water notice because of low chlorine levels. How do you like that? Uncle Al's getting medieval. They want us to boil the water. Well, we drink bottled water anyway. I mean, I don't. I just bathed, just took a shower. But as far as drinking tap water, no, we're not doing that. But that was a call from the city, and it was just basically an automated call to tell me about boiling water. Boil the water! And I do not share people's addresses, I don't share their information. Um, so your information's safe with me. But no, Stephanie, I just did Dave's box, and the next one is Uncle Al's box. I'm doing another box from Uncle Al, and it's been over a year since I've done a box for you, so I'm going to be doing a box for you, and it'll be basically the same thing. I'm sending them. I've got all this stuff, and I just basically get it together and put it out, and then I'll do a video of it. So it'll be pretty much the same thing. But Dave should get his box Saturday. I'm hoping to get Uncle Al's box out. Oh, here's another one. Public alert. Public safety alert. Blue alert. Suspect is wanted for involvement in the serious injury of a law enforcement officer. 32-year-old Asian male last seen in Alvarado, Texas. Call the Federal Bureau of Investigation tip line with information. If seen, call 911. Yeah, brown and green tap water. It said not enough chlorine in the water. Well, we have power, you know. And even if we didn't have power, I can boil water, you know. Whether I'm using solar, because I got a battery bank and I got stuff wired out in the kitchen, and I can use a 12-volt appliances to, like a 12-volt kettle, to boil water as far as that goes. But Stephanie, Chinese terrorists. Well, my email address is David O. Lynn, David O as in Odom, David O. Lynn, Lynn, at gmail.com. And my email address is in the description of all my videos. So I don't put them in my shorts, I don't put them in my live stream, I don't put them in my community wall, but I do in all of my videos. And at this point, I will tell you, please remember that I'll be doing a 2,000 subscriber giveaway. I've got like 43 subs to go, and I will be doing a 2,000 subscriber giveaway. And if you'd like to be in the drawing for the 2,000 subs, and these are nice boxes, please leave a like and a supportive comment on each of the last 5 videos I will have released. So as I'm releasing these videos, it would behoove you to go over to them, like them, and leave me a comment. And I mean, some of my videos are like 4 or 5 minutes. They're short. And then the ration review ones are like 25, 27 minutes long. I'm sorry, this one's going to be about 26 that I'm getting ready to release. But I mean, it takes a while to do a ration review. But please leave a like and a supportive comment on each of the last 5 I will have released when I hit 2,000. And I mean, it could happen overnight, or it could happen a month from now, or 2 months from now. I don't know. My growth is sort of like, that's the way it is. So anyway, something is flying around. Anyway, I'm at my 60 minutes time. I'd like to basically thank everybody for coming in. I think it was a very good live stream. Tonight's topic was basically the construction on the wall, what they're doing for security along the wall and the border and everything. I try to focus on Texas because I'm in Texas. I did talk about the death toll being 119 confirmed in the flooding, and there's still 173 missing. So I'm sure that's going to go up. They're looking for bodies. And I will. Oh, hi, David. Here is my. Okay, thank you. And when I get off, I'm going to go and I'm going to basically fix supper for the missus and myself. Talked to my kid this afternoon. She called me. We had a nice conversation. Talked to her for about 30 minutes. Right now, she's house sitting. She and her husband are house sitting her in-laws. The pastor, they're out of town. They took their kid with them, so for the week, and they're basically staying at their house, babysitting their dogs. Take care, Uncle Al. God bless. So when I get up in the morning, I thank God for the day, and I take my medication. I still got to take a couple of pills tonight for my evening dose. I say the Lord's Prayer, drink my coffee, try to get right in my head and with the day and everything, and treat people the way I want to be treated. Demonstrate respect. I'm cognizant of what's going on. And I was a scout for a couple of years when I was a kid. The scout motto is be prepared. And I tell people have a blessed day. And hopefully be back tomorrow for another edition of Coffee Talk. And appreciate you guys. Please leave comments and likes and support my material. And I will try to do the same for you. So everybody, I enjoyed this. It was very good. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.